Yo, welcome back to the channel. I'm back. Top 25 MPL players after Season 8. This time around, I'm going with player cards instead of clips, so I have more time to talk about each person, and I'm not limited. Playoff stats will be on the right, regular season stats on the left, and then obviously them in the middle. Please do not take this to heart and come suck me off in community chat after you don't like your placement. And yeah, let's get into it. Enjoy. At number 25, we have Orca, one of the few people who moved on Detroit last season. I think he showed a very good ability to make plays, more than some of the other tier 4s. I think he's one of the more underrated people in the league. And yeah, his playoff stats are pretty solid. Regular season stats pretty solid. And yeah, 30 buttons, Jesus Christ. Anyways, on to number 24. At number 24, we have the King Cat himself, Starfair. Some of you might be upset that this guy's above you. I would call you dumb. I think not many people could do what Star did for London this season, taking that team to the playoffs somehow. Put any other tier 4 on that team, they're not leading it anywhere near as well, or leading them to a playoff spot. So yeah, Star number 24. His playoff stats are honestly pretty good considering he played against Boston and Fresno for his 2 playoff games. So yeah, great performance out of Star this season. And on to number 23. At number 23, we have Woke Kyle, a fellow whale boy. He had a pretty down season this season, considering he was a top 14, top 13 player in all of his previous MPL seasons. I think he was number 13 on the last list I made. But yeah, stats are alright. Just by his standards, a pretty down season. However, I do think Season 9, this upcoming season, I think he'll prove a lot of the doubters wrong and have a bounce back year. Probably be around like 15, 16 next video I make. So yeah, on to number 22. At number 22, I have Fox, who had a great regular season. Sort of fell off once we hit the playoffs, but overall I still think he can be a very solid 3rd or 4th on any given team, at least for the regular season. You know what you're getting. So yeah, on to number 21. At number 21, we have KJ, who had a pretty solid season, 351 kills, 338 deaths, 1.04 KDR, 42 buttons, which some people tried to discredit by saying they were against shit teams, but even in the big games, he saved us on a lot of rounds. There's a few problems with KJ, one of them being how he plays man advantages sometimes. He gets a little overzealous and pushes when he should just wait for them to fall back. But overall, very solid. And yeah, on to number 20. At number 20, we have Arctic, who had a pretty solid season for the Oklahoma Ravens. 351 kills, 319 deaths, 0.68 KPR. And yeah, fortunately, he probably won't be on this list next season because his PC is broken. So yeah, on to the next one. At number 19, we have Captain, who was honestly pretty mediocre this season. I think he's retiring. He was alright in the regular season, probably the 2nd on Ottawa. Lost his franchise player, and kind of disappeared in the playoffs a little bit. But yeah, on to number 18. At number 18, we have A, who had 317 kills, 307 deaths, a 1.03 KD, a 0.65 KPR. And one of the better playoff stats from Oklahoma. I think A is one of the most underrated people. I think he has probably the most untapped potential because he's been forced to camp. And when you play against this guy in like scrims and stuff, he can actually make plays, but he just doesn't do it in games for some reason. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him do a lot better this season, I think. And yeah, on to number 17. At number 17, we have Twiggy, who for the first 12 weeks of the season, in my opinion, was pretty mediocre. But week 13 and on, this guy hit a new fucking gear. He turned it the fuck on for playoffs. I mean, he got player of the game like every single game they won. I mean, his playoff stats are nuts. He got finals MVP. Like, this guy was on another level throughout his whole playoff run. Won the ring. And yeah, on to number 16. At number 16, we have Coda, who had 458 kills, 387 deaths, a 1.18 KD, and a .76 KPR. He had an amazing season, which was originally supposed to be the third on Covina, but he rose and shone to be the second. His playoff stats are very fucking bad, though, so I'm afraid I cannot put him any higher than where he is. But yeah, on to number 15. At number 15, we have Jaden, who was on the Oklahoma Ravens this season. Unfortunately, he didn't have a PC for his entire tenure as a San Francisco Flame, but regardless, one of the best aggro players we have in MPL. But .7 DPR is just outrageous, and that's his main issue, is he dies a lot in dumb ways. But yeah, on to number 14. At number 14, I have Fruit, who I'm pretty sure was number 23 last time I made this video after Season 7, so massive improvement out of him. Great regular season, 381 kills, 326 deaths, .73 KPR. But yeah, he fell off a little bit in the playoffs. Not too bad, but not as good as his regular season stats. And on to number 13. At number 13, I have Sean, who was on the San Fran Flames for the latter half of the season, and unfortunately missed playoffs due to that. But these stats don't show the full story. Sean is better than these stats, in my opinion. 326 kills, 308 deaths, .73 KPR, which is very solid. However, .69 DPR, and to be honest, that's horrible. But you don't really see that from Sean, where he dies a lot usually. So pretty down season out of him. And on to number 12. At number 12, I have iDied, who had an outstanding season, to be honest with you, for Oklahoma. I don't want to say carried, but he kind of backpacked them to where they got and how good they were. 386 kills, 338 deaths, 35 buttons, and honestly, those 35 buttons are all pretty meaningful. He saved them in a lot of rounds. .67 KPR, which is solid. .59 DPR. Playoff stats are solid, pretty good. And yeah, on to number 11. At number 11, I have Gast, one of the more aggressive players in MPL, and probably one of the most skilled. If I was making a list just based off talent, this guy would be near the top. He's fucking amazing. But the only thing that really weighs him down are his inconsistencies, and his inconsistencies in the playoffs as well. But yeah, overall, great player. On to number 10. At number 10, I have myself. 411 kills, 315 deaths, .77 KPR, .59 DPR, second man of the year, MVP runner-up. Showed up in the playoffs when it mattered, but unfortunately couldn't do enough to get the job done for the ring. And yeah, on to number 9. At number 9, I have Chandler. Made the switch to keyboard from controller. Made a big improvement along with that. 415 kills, 319 deaths, 35 buttons, .76 KPR, and a .58 DPR. Good playoff stats. I mean, this guy was great all season. One of the smarter players in the league. And on to number 8. At number 8, I have Puggy, another person who switched from controller to keyboard this season. Won MVP. I mean, his stats are fucking amazing. Practically carried a relatively shit Ottawa team to the semifinals. So yeah, great season out of Puggy. On to number 7. At number 7, I have Aquabug. I think he had a top 3 KPR in the league, although his stats are inflated by a 102 kill game against Denver. But regardless of that, when the playoffs happened, this guy turned the fuck up, especially the finals. He was on another level, and he showed why he's a franchise player. On to number 6. At number 5, I have Fuki, who served a 7-game suspension, I think it was, this season. The previous season MVP in Season 7. 205 kills, 174 deaths, 16 3Ks, and the limited amount of games he played is pretty fucking crazy. And they were all against good teams, I think. So yeah, .75 KPR. The campiest player in the league. Good playoff stats, but unfortunately cannot be higher than any of these people above him. So on to number 5. At number 5, I have Aqua Panda. Probably would have won MVP if he didn't miss like 2 or 3 games. 432 kills, .85 KPR, led the league. I mean, this guy was an animal this season. Played good in the playoffs. I mean, he's just the ultimate playmaker. So yeah, on a number 4. At number 4, I have Mr. E, who improved a lot from the previous season. Unfortunately, due to some bad draft picks, he missed the playoffs. Got promoted to Tier 1 this season. 446 kills, 0.72 KPR, 0.62 DPR. Can't really put much blame on the guy. Game on the line, he showed out in his elimination game. So yeah, on to number 3. At number 3, I have Infamous. Now, some of you might not like this, considering Infamous got a lot of hate throughout the season. But I mean, he dragged a pretty ass West Covina team to the 5 seed. So I mean, this guy's just one of the best fraggers we have in MPL. And yeah, on to number 2. At number 2, I have Water Rice. Great season statistically. 1.59 KD, 0.82 KPR, 0.52 DPR, which is really low. That's really good. Unfortunately, his playoff run came to an end because he was really the only one who showed up against Miami. But yeah, one of the best MPL players ever. And on to number 1. At number 1, I have my former teammate on the Fresno Firebirds, Platt Messi. Great season out of Platt. Honestly, compared to his other seasons, this was actually a down year for him. But regardless, was the best player in the league. Showed up in the playoffs. I mean, not much to say about this GOAT of MPL in my opinion. And yeah, that's the video. So I know you guys wanted this a lot, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.